Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom and I have just witnessed West Brom 1, Leeds 1, the one that we were all waiting for, first against second, the two best teams in the division, the two teams streaking away with it, and to be honest, it was a little bit of a disappointment. Both teams seemingly very, very happy with a point as we went towards the end of this game. And I guess understandably so, and a big hug between Marcelo Bielsa and Slaven Bilic at the end, where they seem to basically be saying, look, we haven't damaged each other now, both away and secure promotion. So neither team damaging each other, and honours even. It's a 9-point gap with 20 games to go now. If they can just get one more point ahead with say 20, what would be 19 to go, then you're looking at 1 point per game they would have to drop to not manage to get over the line. So I think this is a good result for both sides. And here is what happened. By the way, Brentford and Forest winning earlier in the day, so the gap did close up to 8 points, but obviously now back up to 9. So West Brom line up, it was Johnston in goal, Furlong and Gibbs are the fullbacks, Ajayi and Bartley the centre halves. Bartley obviously former Leeds player. Livermore and Sawyers are the double pivot. You've got Phillips, Pereira and Kravinovic, so two number 10s there. And Kravinovic off to the left. Radaby says, thought I was going to the game. I thought I was going to the game too. Woke up with a horrible neck, so I did not go. So maybe the curse is real because Leeds did not lose. Robson Kanu up front over Charlie Austin and Kenneth Zahor. Leeds lining up is Casilla in goal. Ayling, Alioski the fullbacks. Cooper and White the centre halves, and standard lead stuff here. Phillips is the deep line playmaker. Harrison, Costa down the sides. Klitsch and Dallas in the middle. Dallas still filling in for Hernandez. Eddie Nketiah starts up front in this one. Lots and lots of rumours that he will be going back to Arsenal and then very quickly back off to Bristol City. Was that his last 45 minutes for Leeds today? I wonder, and what a terrible start Leeds did have in this one, because West Brom come forward and force a corner and take the lead after just 90 seconds. It's a really, really bad goal. The corner goes in from the right-hand side. I guess it must have been Pereira with the left foot. Casilla, it's half a punch. Everyone's now crowded into the 6-yard box. Ajayi just tries to header it somewhere. He just tries to win it. He heads it across the goal. It's hung up. Bartley's over the other side. He knows he can't get the header on goal. He then headers it back into the middle. And surprisingly, Ben White actually loses Ajayi. He runs just across in front of him. He prods it. It barely floats towards the goal. And it's hooked off the line by Harrison. But everyone looks over to the ref. He checks to see if his wrist is buzzing. It is. And a very ugly goal. The ball has just gone over the line. And West Brom have the lead after 90 seconds. Just a very strange atmosphere in this one. It seemed, oh, okay, we've taken the lead. What do we do now? Rather than this big rousing thing. It was very, very much two teams respecting each other, I think, today. So West Brom have the lead, and the game is quickly going to fall into a very sort of European-looking pattern. Both teams very comfortable on the ball and can keep possession without giving away space and chances. So West Brom are just going to fall back. They've got a good, strong team set. They've played the 4-2-3-1 all season, and they're going to try and sort of snuff Leeds out and just sit back. Remember, Leeds like the game to be played quickly, and if you're Leeds and you're playing against a lesser team and it's slow, you can pick them apart. But against a good team like West Brom, it didn't really make for the best watch in the first half. Matt Phillips has an effort on 5. He tries to catch Casilla up with a free kick. Leeds, as we come into the sort of 15-minute mark, having lots and lots of the ball, but not committing too many forward. West Brom, nice and solid, as I say. Gibbs is flagging, and the one chance Leeds do get is down his side on 17. It's cut back to Klitsch. He curls that one over the top. Gibbs is then substituted on 17. Townsend comes in left back. Interesting one on 23. It's a throw-in to West Brom. It's Klitsch and Sawyers both together, and they kind of both fall down. And Don Goodman on the commentary seemed to be calling penalty on that. Maybe just out of the referee's vision as the throw-ins coming in, but maybe something in it. But ref waved play on there. 31, Pereira off the left low drive here. Easy for Casilla. It's really, really quiet this game. That's just a shot from outside the box. As I mentioned, Klitsch's one was into the keeper's arms. Basically nothing from minute 5 right the way through here. We're up to 34. Sawyers gives away Harrison onto Costa. He half volleys it again. It's just a case of get the shot off, and it's straight down Johnston's throat. Pereira taken down on the counter here, 25-yarder, left footer over the wall. Casilla tips that one around the post. No big chances, no one playing through. Steve says Don Goodman does not like Leeds. Krovinovic yellow on Ayling as he is breaking forward, kind of stamps down the back of his foot. Now, having said all of this, if you are going for the kind of European approach, take the lead early, sit back, keep your team shape. The perfect thing to do would be to break away and score at the end of the half. And Leeds really should have gone 2-0 down here at the end. Here, Sawyers fed through, not Sawyers at all, it was Phillips, wasn't it? Fed through by Livermore. He's clear on goal, and he's just got too much time to think about this, hasn't he? We've seen Matt Phillips many times just smash these in. He has a lot of time. Casilla does well. He comes out, he tries to go down Casilla's left-hand side, and he gets down well and makes the save. That would have been the perfect sit-back and counter performance, wouldn't it? Goal at the start of the half, goal at the end of the half. Blackburn against Bristol City a few weeks ago. Bosh. James says maintain the gap at all costs. Fair. If I'm a Leeds fan or a West Brom, I'm agreeing wholeheartedly with that. It comes back to Livermore. He blasts that one over the top. So we get to half-time. Strange half, like I said. Lot of respect from West Brom towards Leeds. It was almost like West Brom had set up to have this game plan of slowing it down and hadn't expected to take the lead after 90 seconds, and kind of didn't really know what to do when they did. I think they were expecting the Leeds onslaught, and everything was set up to sit. And as the comment just said in the feed there, maintain the gap at all costs. I guess that was both managers' modus operandi today. That said, Baggies get the goal. Craig says, I thought you were going to the game. Just worked late last night, stiff neck, could not get there today. No curse for Leeds today. Maybe that's more evidence, like I say, that it does exist. But no, my ticket went unused today, sadly. So what I will say is that Leeds didn't actually create that many chances. And with Bielsa over this past 18 months, it's all been about speed and getting everything going. And to be fair, West Brom didn't allow them to do that. It didn't make for the greatest watching. You've got two teams who are very, very good in possession. They don't give away easy possession. So it slowed down, and Leeds having lots and lots and lots of the ball, but West Brom not allowing them through. Not the rambunctious winner-takes-all clash. I think if the gap was 2 or 3 points, I think both of these teams would have gone at each other. But with the gap being 8 points, like everyone's saying in the comments, no, let's just sit on this one. Half time, Barry Douglas in for Alioski at left back, and Bamford in for Nketiah. If Bielsa is the genius we all think he is, he's basically saying, right, Alioski is a runner, Douglas is a very good crosser, Bamford is better in the air. We're not able to play through them, so we may have to, make crosses from deeper and use Bamford and play into his chest and his feet in the way that Nketiah can't really do. There you go. Liam says we dealt with the crosses from Harrison well. Christopher says we miss Dejan Garner. I should have mentioned that. Kravinovic in for Dejan Garner. So you've now got a crossing left back and a forward who can receive the ball with his back to goal, and immediately Leeds get the equaliser. 51 minutes. They'd started with a bit more of that intensity that we're used to with them. Down the left-hand side, next phase from a corner, throw in, Douglas slides it down the channel. Harrison, who's getting better and better, isn't he? I know lots of Leeds fans were kind of questioning him. Lots of end product and crosses and balls into the box and goals from him this season. He cuts the cross back to Bamford, and it's a little bit lucky, isn't it? He flicks the header on the near post. It looks like it's possibly going wide. Hits Ajayi on the shoulder, loops up and into the corner. And the substitution, I've watched 2 games today, and both substitutions like this have worked an absolute treat, and Bamford gets the goal now. And we're all hoping, okay, now West Brom are going to have to come out. This is going to open them up a little bit, which will in turn allow Leeds to speed things up, and we'll get the whirlwind game that we wanted. Sadly, that didn't happen. Adam and Eve says Harrison has been great this season. I think he's definitely won over a few Leeds fans as well. And I was listening to the Phil Hay thing on Spotify the other day, and they're saying Bamford actually for the calendar year is basically a 20-goal striker now since he's been back from his injury. So he's another one that worked really well. Leeds fans talking in the feed about the FA Cup game and the need to not win that one at all. 61, West Brom come forward here. Pereira through to Kravinovic. He's on the left-hand side of the box. The angle is really, really too tight. But here come Leeds on the counter, and this is a feature of Leeds. Harrison on the counter all the time here. He crosses to Bamford. He gets an effort off. It's a really difficult chance. It's kind of torso high on the volley, and he puts it wide. But a little bit of a start to open up. Craig says fitness work Harrison put in the off-season is really paying off. I'd love to see him sign permanently in the summer. I think we can all agree with that. He really is one of the top runners in that Leeds team. Along with Ayling, who seems to run about 15 kilometres a game, doesn't he? Costa, nice dribble on 62 here. Harrison set away down the left. Driven cross here. Pinball, bangs off Bartley and then hits Townsend. Could go anywhere. Goes safe over the top. We're going to get a spate of yellow cards now. And all these little tetchy stoppages and yellow cards, they're now going to slow the game back down. If you notice, from the Leeds goal through to about 65, the tempo did go up, but this is just going to kill it back off. And I think it's going to inform both managers to say, oh, okay, right, 1-1 isn't all bad. Let's sit on this now. So first Cooper, one on Robson Kanu here. Casilla deals well with Pereira's free kick there. Ayling on Edwards now, yellow card here. Now Bartley goes through Bamford. You can see stop start, nothing generating, and this is going to play into the way the game is going to end out. So 3 yellow cards in 5 minutes there. Dallas forces a corner on 74, flick to Cooper. Don Goodman was actually right in the commentary on this one. Cooper should head back across goal like Bartley did in the first half, but he heads that one over the top. Zahor comes in for Phillips, some fresh legs up top there for West Brom, and a chance just to drop Robson Kanu in, so they've got an out ball a little bit deeper in terms of keeping possession rather than just knocking it up into the back 4 there. Nice effort by Furlong. He tries the old Zola back heel there from the corner. Casillas scrambling, saved by the whistle. Costa then joins the many in the ref's book. Joel says Leeds played better second half, did not do enough to win the game. However, on 89 minutes, we do have a chance. They could have snatched this Leeds and set themselves up for, everyone would have said it was a title decider if anyone won this one, didn't they? They kind of rob it off Ajayi. It's Klitsch. He quickly gives it to Bamford, slides him in left-hand side of the box. Klitsch makes the run into the 6-yard box. Look, Bamford is a striker. He's paid to score goals. He's in on the angle. Of course, he's going to shoot. But if he just disguises that and cuts that back, Klitsch does have a tap in. However, if you're a striker, you've got to back yourself in those positions. And having already scored, although that goal might be taken away from Bamford, he's got to have a go there, and Johnston makes a save on the near post. Pereira up the other end to Edwards in the box, kind of gets it out of his feet, hits it hard enough, but Casilla is right behind that one and takes no chances. Tips it over. Stoppage time is all played out. Nice and easily. The game ends 1-1, but as I say, I think from around the 70-minute mark when the yellow card kept coming out, I think both managers took a view there of let's keep this gap, let's each take a point, let's not damage each other, and on we go now. 20 games to go, 9 points gap is a big one. That's 3 game weeks you can lose and your rivals have to win, and you're still going to be out there in front, and you just cannot see that happening over and over and again. Ken says, could have won, could have lost, I'll take that point any day. I think that is the general feel there. So it's kind of a big game now, and it's a big game done because we're going to be looking at the end of the season. I know there's Leeds, Brentford coming up in February, isn't it? But once you tick these games off, and this is how Norwich did this last season, they played a whole load of big games around Christmas time. They ticked them all off, and then when they went into those easier games against lower ranked teams, they just put the hammer down and went and secured that 8 wins on the trot. Frankly, it's not going to need anything like that for either of these two teams. What are we, 52 points each? No, I haven't checked the table. I think the total's 52 with 20 games to go. Yeah, that would be right. That would be 2 points per game, wouldn't it? So it's fairly straightforward. And given how the other teams take points off each other, you'd be thinking 1.8, 1.9. 2 points per game, obviously now would be another 40, would take both teams to 92, definitely get them promotion. I think personally 87, 88 will do it. So I think basically Leeds and West Brom now have to just not lose in games to Brentford and Fulham and Forest, and they're probably going to be all right. They spoke again, I'll refer back to that Phil Hay podcast on Spotify, to a scenario where one team goes ahead and damages the other teams. I don't think it's going to be like that. I think they're going to be neck and neck up the top there. But it's very, very much now, after this game, set up for both of these teams. Really, they've just got to put decent enough points on the board for the next 5 or 6 weeks. And it's going to, if you're coming into the 30 game mark, so in 4 games time with a 9 or 10 point lead, it really, really is looking too much for everybody else. In some senses, as a neutral, a little bit of a damp squib, the game today. You would have hoped for both teams going at each other. I just think the gap and the point in the season we're playing, if it had been March time or something, I think they would both go for each other and go for the title. But too much to lose in this one, and both teams kind of sitting back and happy with the point. And from all the comments we've got in the feed here from Leeds and West Brom fans, everybody seems to be happy. And I think there's just now a sense that Brentford and Fulham and Forest, those chasing guys, there just seems to be too much fallibility for any one of those teams to knock 9 points out of Leeds or West Brom, unless we get a collapse of absolutely epic proportions or an injury crisis or something of that nature. I think this might be a little bit of a kind of clarity point of where we're going this season now after this game. If you're a West Brom fan, would you agree with me that now we know the system, the back four is going to stay the same, the entire basically back 1, 5, 7 is going to stay the same. You get the odd change, there's rotation to be done. It's just getting through it now and knocking out the points. Leeds, I feel, is a bit different because you could get Nketiah going back, somebody else coming in, and they might do something in January, a sort of central midfielder. I think the only thing that stops Leeds now is injuries and a very bad transfer window or something of that nature. I just can't see anything changing too much. So let me know what you think in the comments. Lots of lovely jokes about the curse because I had a ticket and didn't go today. So I guess the curse still exists because Leeds didn't lose. They didn't win anyway. But there we go. Nketiah going back to Arsenal, just been confirmed by Bielsa. Interesting. So we'll be expecting a striker going into Leeds in the next couple of weeks. James says, nice video. Thought Leeds good second half, could have won it. Happy New Year. Alex says, I'm still not allowed to any Leeds games. Sorry. I need to look at the schedule now when I'll see them next. I'd assume that Brentford game's sold out, but Leeds fans don't want me to go to difficult Leeds games. That's what we should do. Maybe we should go to a really easy Leeds game. Maybe like Wigan at home, like at the end of last season, because they couldn't possibly lose one of those with me there, could they, or without me there? Right, thank you everybody for watching and joining in with the feed. Feels like a bit of a watershed moment now where both teams have kept the gap, no one's gone ahead, and it's a chase against the two now for the remaining 20 games. Can they knock out the points and keep the distance in? Thank you everybody for watching. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, support me on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Happy New Year to everybody saying Happy New Year in the comments. And if you're a Leeds fan or a West Brom fan, you will now be expecting a promotion in 5 months' time. Can they hang in there? Let's find out. Over and out.